You got a tight little man pussy on you, don't you? Oh, it stinks. Nice and good.
Are you fucking? Is this nigga serious?
Okay, so remember last time? That video isn't doing the best, and it also isn't the best, but it's been roughly a year, and things have changed a lot. After getting a new mic, plus some more experience, I think it's time to give this another shot, a semi-proper review. Zardy is most known for his FNF mod and two insane songs, Foolhardy and Bushwhack. The FNF mod was developed by SwinkyBox, Rosebud, Starnyart, and Kate Def. However, the mod isn't what we're here for. We're here for the lesser-known indie horror game, ZARDYS MAZE, developed by SwinkyBox and his team of developers, and published by SwinkyBox LLC. ZARDYS MAZE is a horror indie game planned between 2017 and 2018, released September 30th, 2020. Now we get into the real shit. The real reason I wanted to make this video. The fucking maze. ZARDYS MAZE is controlled by RNG hard. The maze is generated at random and it has its own seed system. So for the majority of this video, the maze is at random and this adds a huge layer of difficulty. And SwankyBox knew this. And SwankyBox knew this, as the achievement Foolhardy is earned by finding and destroying all 3 weeds and finding the exit without leaving the maze at all on a random seed. The game gives you 2 items, which I'll get into later. You won't be alone in this maze, because you'll have multiple dumbass farm-based enemies to deal with, starting with the main guy himself, Jack from Animal Crossing. Zardy is one of the easier characters to deal with when he's alone, but being pinned by him is one of the worst situations you can be in. And how, I hear you not asking? You will see. To stop Zardy, you have to shine your light on him for what feels like a long-ass time. He appears out of thin air and basically tells you where he is because he physically cannot hold that garden hoe and drags it on the ground, making a loud-ass scraping noise. Next on the list is the kid who lost his dad at the grocery store and won't leave you alone unless you gently tap him on the head with your axe, and his grubby little tentacle can only be seen through flashlight, which looks like it could explode at any time. That grubby little grease child won't let the head tap slide, however. It's right before he falls asleep. He lets out a shriek, which alerts his dad, who runs like a rejected Naruto character. Who's his dad? Pumpkin Jack, the 3-time track participation award winner. Pumpkin Jack can't be dealt with the same way on account of his Candyman hands, which look like you could instantly get several diseases and STIs if you even breathe within 20 feet of him. Since Jack only sees the light of day when his wife forces him outside of the house for playing League of Legends and forgetting to feed the kids, the light will stop him right in his tracks, giving you enough time to turn the corner and dip. The brute guards the weed like an NFT he doesn't want screenshotted. However, he too doesn't touch grass either, so the box light stops him as well. That's a pattern for most characters in ZARDYS MAZE, I just started to realize. The Pumpkin Crawler and Prumpkin? What the fuck is a Prumpkin? The Pumpkin Crawler and Pumpkin Jack make a great team, but the Cable Crow can be just as annoying on his own. The Cable Crow hooks from place to place like a pre-Hard Mode Terraria boss fight. I'm not showing any footage of that because if you didn't get it, then I shame you for being lame and having a life. The Cable Crow can kill you in 2 different ways. Simply by being next to a pole he's on, he will teleport you up there and shoot you to another pole just to land face first on old, hard, splintery wood. And if he catches you while he's airborne, you meet the same fate. The Cornstalker is an interesting one, because he does nothing. It can delay you for a few seconds, but after some axing, it can be brought down quick. You just hit it 3 times. That's it. Who is the Rattler? It's just a ground cable crow. He doesn't do anything. He shoots you with cables, but you could dodge it side to side. The Rattler's a joke. The Drought is a giant cloud of smoke that can be seen in only a few specific challenges and can teleport you back to where you were a few seconds ago. It's not dangerous unless you were next to an enemy or in some corn, because then you're fucking dead. With all that being said, it can all be put together. This game will kick your ass. ZARDYS Maze is pretty difficult, but after learning basic strategies and how the characters work with each other, it just becomes a coin toss. Remember the maze randomization? Well, the weeds, exit, and paths can't be memorized, so after a certain point in the game, it's up to RNG and you not making a mistake. As mentioned before, you have 2 items, the axe and the flashlight. The flashlight can be recharged by holding right click, and the axe, well, I'll let you figure that out. Running through the maze looking for giant weeds is easy until you break one and all hell breaks loose. You have the option to leave the maze for only a limited time, and after you leave, you have to find another entrance. After you leave and come back to the maze turns green and you can't leave anywhere but the exit, which grows bright blue after all 3 have been destroyed. Breaking the first weed will alert the brute, unless they already saw you, and Pumpkin Jack, who runs after you. Now it's a race against the clock, and the longer you spend in the maze, the more time they have to find you. When not in immediate danger, even when the maze is green and closed off, you have time to think and recharge your flashlight. The maze changing atmosphere really adds a layer of tension, even when you're safe. ZARDYS Maze is ZARDYS Maze is an amazing indie game which uses the RNG system in a way that doesn't make you feel cheated when you die. Most of the time. Even then, it's still a nice mixture, and I believe is sort of inspired by Scott Cawthon's FNAF. I shouldn't have to explain what that is, but I'll give a brief one. No, I'm not. Why did I write that? No. Multiple enemies can pin you, ultimately killing you without many options on defense. The cable crow can zone you out of an area for a short while if he's moving, but if he's sitting on a pole, then there's no other option but to wait, and Jack could be on your ass. If the cable crow has a pole in your direction, you have to move out of the way, but if Jack takes the option away, it's over. Zardy and Pumpkin Jack go hand in hand. You have to avoid Jack by running away, but Zardy sits in the middle of the path. Zardy spawns behind you, and Jack can come from either side. If they pitch you, there's almost no way out. Even in these 2 of many scenarios, it's not always out of your control, and I like that about ZARDYS Maze.
I'm about to end this man's whole career. Fight back, nigga! Fight back, nigga! Fight back!
First of all, if you made it this far without subbing, would you, I don't know, maybe consider it?
No.
To wrap this up, I would have to say ZARDYS Maze is a game I would recommend to anyone looking for fast-paced horror.